What's going on, guys? It's Sandman. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some Farming Simulator 25 on the first generation farm series. It's been a while since we've made a video, and I'm very excited to get back to it. We've got a lot to do today and a lot to talk about. We did get a few additions to the farm. I know I mentioned in the last video we were thinking about buying a new truck. Well, we splurged a little bit. 2025 F350 in antimatter blue. Absolutely gorgeous truck, but it does everything we needed it to do. We needed a farm truck. We needed something that's going to tow our fifth wheel, that's not going to give us any issues. This thing is absolutely a badass, and we're going to check it out here in just a bit. Nothing else has changed inside of the barn. Pretty much all the same. Speaking of barns, in today's episode, we are going to put a couple different barns down, a couple different facilities. I guess we'll just kind of see what it looks like. I want to get this farm future-proofed. I know that we don't have a lot of money to work with, a little bit less than you saw last time, because this truck was very expensive. I think it was about $80,000. That's actually kind of cheap for an F350, especially one in the King Ranch edition. Yeah, so we got a pretty good deal on this 2025. We had quite the down payment, I suppose. But anyways, right behind me, and the reason I haven't turned around, is we finally bought a combine. And we've been searching for a while for one. And we found a 7700 series. She's old. She's a 1978. And we got a 643 corn head with it. We didn't get a bean head. We don't have one of those yet, but we will. This is a turbo 7700 series. I don't believe this is a Titan Series 2. But anyways, 1978's got almost 7,000 hours on it. So it's seen better days, but it runs. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and start it up and listen to it for a second. As you can see at the bottom right there, 6,597 hours. I don't know, that seems like a lot. I mean, it is a lot of hours. However, for something that's a 1978, I think this is going to suit us perfectly. I mean, everything works on it. We've inspected all the hydraulics. There aren't any issues. I do believe this head needs some new gathering chains. There's a few things that I noticed on it when I was looking over it, that it was likely going to need. And that's okay, because, you know, that's all just regular maintenance stuff. But other than that, this combine is good. Like, I haven't noticed anything. Obviously, it hasn't been in a field in a while. It's been a few years from, according to the guy that I bought it from, at least that's what he said. So I guess we'll have to see. Obviously, it's not going to be getting any use in today's episode, just because it's October and we don't have anything to harvest. If you're not familiar with it or familiar with this series, all we have right now is this alfalfa field that is obviously done for the year. We do have this field over here that we purchased a couple weeks ago, and we got it cultivated and, well, not cultivated. We got it plowed. We got lime down on it. We haven't put any fertilizer. Probably going to wait till the fall to do, or the spring to do that. Not going to do any more field work. We're pretty much done for the year for the most part. But we got all of our bales taken care of. They are in here now. Right there. Good to go. I didn't count how many there are. There's a good few. So there's 2 rows here. So there's quite a few, which is awesome. That's going to get us a little bit of money back, because it just seems like we've just been dumping money after money after money. Yeah, obviously with this new truck, we got to pay it off somehow, right? So we did end up buying it out. If you don't recall, we turned in our pension, or we got our pension from, or we're getting our pension, I guess you could say, from us being a cop for so many years. And we decided we wanted to buy a first generation farm, and that's where this series comes in. Is a first generation farm. We still have one of the planters with cedar, actually, not a planter. Here's the planter. So we got a 7,000 series planter, and then we've got, oh boy, I can't even remember now. It's been so long. We've got a cedar down at the dealership. I don't know that we're going to make our way down there today, but we will definitely. If you haven't seen it before, it's a pretty badass dealership. They got a lot of cool stuff. They helped me source the 7700 series. I know I talked about it at one point in time with my salesman, and he decided that he was going to try to look for one. Finally found one. Hadn't ran in a couple years. Got some high mileage. We didn't pay a lot for it. I'm not going to tell you how much we paid for it, but we didn't pay a lot. So it's ours. It's hopefully going to not have any issues. I'm excited about it. everything works. The flighting even looks pretty good on the augers. That's good. Kind of surprised actually by that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into probably getting some of the buildings up. I want to probably put a building in that area and then maybe over there. I'm thinking like 2 buildings. So a little bit of a farm build here just to kind of get us set up for the future, of course. It's already October. I did not install a plow mount on the front of this truck. I wanted to leave the valance on. I didn't really want that being a plow truck. You know, that's kind of our haul truck. I can't remember now if I put plow mounts on our old truck. Let's see. And survey says no, we didn't. Okay, so we are eventually going to need something to plow snow. We've got quite the property here. And then at some point in time, we need to take care of this crap. This crap has been bothering me for a while now, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get some of this stuff built for the buildings. Okay, there we go. We have ourselves a new building. I like it. It looks really good. It took me a lot longer to get this going than I thought it was going to. I'm not very good with the editor or whatever you want to call it, but anyways, here's our building. We'll go ahead and start over on this side of the building. There are shop triggers, I do believe, in here. Yeah, there is right there. This is going to be mainly storage or anything that has an engine, if you get what I mean. So this isn't going to be meant for cold storage. Anything that doesn't need to be in a climate control setting will probably stay over in the other barn for now. Eventually, we'll probably build something else. I was taking a look at some grain silos as well, and that is the goal going forward. But as you can see in the top right there, we spent just over $300,000 on this building, which is quite a bit of money. So we're going to probably get some of the equipment moved over. So like the 8850 is going to get moved over there. The 4020 will get moved over there. I think the Gator will probably get moved over there. The 1086 will get moved over there. The Combine. We're going to run out of space very quickly. But that's okay. You know, that's kind of what the idea was to have this for things that we want to keep climate controlled and a lot of that older equipment with engines and stuff, it's going to be best for it. And I did notice this. This is really cool. It's got a pressure washer. Look at that. Hell yeah. So no need to buy one of those. It's got a little bathroom. So if, you know, one of you guys needs to come in here and use the bathroom next to the very loud generator or air compressor, you can go right ahead. Little storage up here. Looks like we've already got some stuff going on. So this would be cool. We got a PTO down there. 2 PTOs. Okay. Some pretty large PTOs. Not sure what those are for. What's that? Lincoln? Okay. But yeah, so we've got some stuff. Looks like we've been moving some stuff in. We've got a little spot for a forklift if we want to, you know, put stuff up there and then move it around with a dolly cart. We got a place to work on stuff. So if we want to take duals off a tractor or put duals on a tractor, we can. So huge upgrade. This isn't the biggest shop in the world. That's what she said. There you go. Praise the Lord. We got lights. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of space to go ahead and store some stuff. We'll go ahead and open this. It's quite the door. Pretty much fit everything in here, but I didn't want to overspend. I really was tempted to build another building, but you can see just how much space this particular building took up. And that's going to be great where it is. We even put a light up. We'll come down here, kind of just get a little bit of a lay of the land and try to figure out what we're going to be doing next. Ideally, I want to build something smaller on this side. It looks like there's a lot of room, but there's really not. Not as much room as we think there is. And then we do own the land that runs down to the edge of that field there, which we intend to buy at some point in time. I think that road ends right there. Yeah, I don't recall if I own that portion right there. We do own this field, of course, like I mentioned. But we're going to probably put another smaller building here. And then I think we will do the grain silos eventually when we have the money up there behind the 7,700. And I think at some point in time, we might end up building over this field. It just depends, right? So we've got that building, which is not going to give us much room for anything. Eventually, this bale storage will likely cease to exist, and we'll get rid of that. And then this right here, of course, is going to stay. It's future-proofed. It's gorgeous. It works great. And we're excited for it. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and move some of the equipment over. Maybe free up a little bit of space over in the old barn. And well, let's do that now. And in case you hadn't heard the F350 startup yet, take a listen. Pretty basic. I'm sure some of you are curious. Interior on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, the King Ranch interior. Mrs. Sandman absolutely loves that. Got a little Toby Keith on the radio there. I actually have a Ford in real life, but we'll go ahead and move this out of the way. That way we can get the 8850 out. I think we're going to leave the 7700 exactly where it is for now until we can get that head off. Apparently the head hasn't been off in a long time, so that could pose a little bit of a problem for us. Here's the 8850. And she fires right up. Just over 4,000 hours on her. So she's a little bit cold, so we do got to be a little careful not to overwork her. But this is going to be a workhorse on the farm. Can't remember exactly how much horsepower this little girl has. Oh, yep, see, there it is. Don't drive too fast. It's too cold still. Well, all we're trying to do is move her over. So maybe what we do once we get in here is we go ahead and start up everything else. Just kind of get it running. Let the oil get moving through the engine, and then we'll be able to move it just okay. So we'll be able to move we're gonna move the 1086 and the 4020, and we'll go ahead and just leave this right here. Actually, do we want to park this there? I don't know. I don't think it matters. We can figure out a configuration as to how we like it at some point in time, but we'll go ahead and fire up the 1086. We'll go ahead and get the 4020 fired up. Let those warm up just for a second. Got to figure out where I want to put the old Chevy. What is it, a K1500? But let the 1086 run for a little bit. Go ahead and jump into 4020, let that girl run for just a little bit, and let them warm up. So I did install like the vehicle breakdown mod where your vehicles can break down, which is really awesome. And I like that so far. I haven't had anything break down yet, but I'm sure we will at some point in time. Yeah, I got to figure out what I want to do with the Chevy. I think we might just leave it there and let Mrs. Sandman drive it. And knowing her, she'll probably want the F350. Then I think we will move the 7700. At least put it somewhere. That way it's not out in the open like this. But yeah, I mean, look at this land. There's so much potential. You know, we're in the off season now. Might do a little bit of snow plowing. I haven't 100% decided yet if that's what we're going to do. But I know that we're really eager to get into spring. She's still a little cold, so we got to be somewhat careful here. I did also install the manual attach mod. Oh, and you know what? We've got the new pressure washer. Let's go ahead and get this old girl in here and get her pressure washed off, get her looking better than what she does now. Go ahead and jump on out. We'll leave her running. We'll grab our handy dandy pressure washer and we'll get her cleaned up. I mean, she's got a rough paint job on her, but she isn't as bad as she looks. Oh, damn it. We're too far away. We'll try that again. This is the kind of weird in-between season work that you do. We'll get some of our equipment worked on, probably do some oil changes. I think the local John Deere dealership has a filter sale going on. Probably need to look at some tillage-related things because I don't know that we're actually going to keep that field as an alfalfa field. That's a thought. Something I've been kind of mulling over. Do we want to rip it up and do something else with it? I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should. Maybe corn, maybe beans, probably corn, to be honest with you. It would be a shame if we didn't have a cornfield. But there it is. Sparkly and shiny and old 1086. Here's something funny that I think you guys might enjoy. The fuel filters say 1981. That's pretty sketchy. Hopefully they've been changed since 1981. That would be ideal, but we don't know that. So we're probably going to end up having to do that ourselves. You can see that the 1086 has been used up quite a bit. She's got some paint issues going on right there by the IH logo. Probably the only green tractor that we will ever have. And I say that knowing that I've looked at a couple cases and that I believe the local dealership does have something that I'm interested in. But you know what? We can't focus on that right now. We got to focus on other stuff. Need to focus on getting stuff in the ground at the beginning of the year, getting the equipment worked on, preventative maintenance, all that sort of thing. And here's our 4020 with 6,100 hours on it as a absolute boatload of hours. But you know what? She still runs. Now, the one thing about this 4020 that's really neat is that when we bought this farm, it came with the farm. So it came with the trailer, of course. It came with this building. It came with the bale storage, and it came with a 4020. And we had no idea at the time that it was a 4020. We were just told that there was a tractor that was left behind and that it was ours and that it didn't run. And when we got in there, of course, you know, there was a little bit of excitement on our part. And then we took it down to the John Deere dealership and had them work on it because it had not been running for a while. So it's got a lot of hours on it, like I said, pretty dirty. We're going to get this cleaned up. You can see it's got some paint defects, which is pretty normal, I suppose, for a tractor that is older than I am. And that's not saying much, I guess, because I'm pretty freaking old, I guess. Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends. But, all right, let's go ahead and we'll park this. You know what? We'll park this over here so that it can be easy in, easy out.
That's what she said.
Over by the small door. Beautiful. And then I think we'll move the gator over. But I missed a spot. That's just paint that's missing. But you know what? We've got more room than we thought. We can get the 7700 in here. Eventually, we're going to need a sprayer. We don't have any sort of tillage equipment. I was looking at a 1600 plow. That's pretty old. But it'll do the job. We do have the planter. We do have the seeder down at the dealership. And you know what? Maybe we'll take a quick trip down to the dealership real quick. You know, we'll let this start up real quick. We might as well go ahead and start our truck if we're going to head on down to the dealership. Go take a look at what they've got down there. I don't think there's anything new. Man, this looks, I love this truck. Absolutely gorgeous. Go ahead and move this up over here, and then we'll move the Gator over. And then I think we'll just leave the Chevy probably where it is, kind of like I mentioned. And then we'll get back to it at some point in time. Go ahead and move the Gator over. It's ran long enough. Not going to blow it up. This is actually in really good shape. Has pretty much no hours on it. We bought this off I believe we bought this one off an old lady or something. I can't remember exactly where we got this one from. Okay, yeah, don't drive too fast. Engine's still cold. Alright. So we'll go ahead and pull this in here. We'll go ahead and just park it. What do we think? Right here on the back side of this 4020. There we go. Beautiful. And she's good. Not sure what we're going to use the Gator for, but you know what? A TH 6x4 is not a bad idea to have. And then we're going to go ahead and let the 77 run for a minute. I forgot about this. I almost left without it. We were going to put it away anyways. Alright, we'll let her warm up. And then we'll head on down to the dealership. So give this thing a few minutes and we'll be right back. Alright, 7700, good to go. We'll just go ahead and put it right here, right in the middle. We know we've got some work to do on her. Like I said, the corn head hadn't even been off in probably a decade, from what I was told anyways. This was just like their backup combine if something ever happened, but nothing ever did, so they got a little lucky there. Let's go ahead and jump in the F350. We're going to head on down to the dealership, take a look and see what they've got down there. I don't think anything's changed. I think it's all pretty much brand new. Maybe we can pick up the seeder that we have as well. I believe it's an 8043. I don't know why that like sticks in my head, but for some reason that doesn't sound right. So I guess we'll find out when we get down there. I am absolutely in love with this truck. This is just a oh whoops. Sorry about it. Hopefully we didn't cut anybody off, but I am really liking this truck. It's very smooth. It's a lot better than the last truck that we had. The Chevy will always be near and dear to my heart just because of the backstory behind it, which we'll save for another day. Gotta have some stories to tell you guys, huh? But yeah, so new to us, well, new to me and Mrs. Sandman. I've just got a feeling that more than likely she's gonna be the one that probably drives it most of the time. Probably shouldn't be doing 40 miles an hour through town. Don't want to get pulled over anyways. But dealership's right up here. Been a while since I've been here, but I know sales have been down, so I can't anticipate that they've really sold anything. I know there's a few things on the lot that we've kind of looked at buying. I know they've got the Landau cultivator, which I've expressed a little bit of interest in, so there's a potential that maybe we try to look at getting that at some point in time. But here we go. We are here. Yeah, pretty much the same. Got an 8RX out front. Agrivision. A lot of combines. We've got a combine, though, so we're not too concerned with that. I don't even know if we're going to get out of the truck. It's kind of cold today. 63 degrees. I guess I'm kind of a wimp. Where is... You know what? I think our seeder was over there. I think it might actually be in the shop right now, because I know that they were doing some work on it. I thought... Man, it's been a while, guys. I can't quite remember. It's my old age. But yeah, so that is... Damn it, I guess we're going to have to get out. That's the Landau disc that I've been looking at. They've got the Deere disc here. What is that? A 2660 VT, so vertical tillage, with the notched discs on it. And the baskets. That one got baskets? It does. The discs on this are not notched, which I like. I don't like the notch discs. I'm leaning towards this. I think they're asking less for it, but that'll probably end up being ours at some point in time. Two planters that we will absolutely never be able to afford, or at least not right now anyway. And then two combines that we thought about. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. I've been I've been eyeing the case. When the 8850 came for sale, I knew about this 9370, and I didn't pull the trigger. I couldn't do it. My grandfather would roll over in his grave if he knew I bought a case. I know we have the International, but that was his. Okay, so he can't say anything about that one. The Gleaner, of course, and then we've got the 8400 that I was looking at. So pair the 8400 with the Landau disc. You know what? I don't even know if this 8400 can pull the Landau disc. And then here's the other deer that I was looking at, the 8960, an absolute classic. Was thinking about that one, but I don't know. A lot of stuff here, a lot of really good stuff, and stuff that we can't afford right now. And I'm not ready to go in on a loan. I don't feel comfortable doing it, knowing that we really haven't made any money and that every bit of our pension is pretty much gone. I think we started with, almost $1 million between our retirement, our pension, and then money that we had saved up. And, yeah, and we, of course, bought all this. We're loan free, but yeah. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump back in the truck. We're going to pull back up to the dealership real quick and see if they don't have that cedar inside. I did hear that they're getting a new service truck, which is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and be a jerk and just park right here and just leave our truck out, see if anybody's inside. They do have it. Yeah, see, this is our cedar there. What model is this again? 8350. I'm an idiot. And of course, there's one of their trucks right now, and then the spreader that we used last time. This was really nice. I would not mind having this dry box spreader, but the price tag on this is just a bit too rich for our blood. Let's go ahead and head back to the farm, though. I don't want to spend too much time here because all it does is makes me want to buy stuff. Not a whole lot left to do for today. I think we've kind of solved what we needed to do. Got some of the equipment cleaned up. Got ourselves a new barn built, or shed, whatever you want to call it. I think we're looking pretty good for the fall. Might look into seeing if we want to get into snow plowing. The thing is if we do decide we want to get into snow plowing, then we're going to need something to plow with. And at this present moment, we have nothing. This truck, yeah, I could put a plow mount on it, but I don't know if I want to put a plow mount on a brand new truck. And then, of course, you've got the old K1500. Again, you know, that's kind of the same situation. Okay. Yep, just walk right out into the road. You're an idiot.
Oh, idiot.
But anyways, I don't know if I want to put a plow mount on the old K1500 because that's such a good truck, and I feel like I'm just going to ruin it with that. It's old, and you do that to an old truck like that, if you care about the truck, you're kind of torturing it. So if I didn't care about it, I don't think I would. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know that I want to go buy something else just to plow snow and make a couple $100 a season, you know? So I think that's probably going to be out of the question, at least for now. We might look at it later on. You know, maybe we pick up a couple contracts here and there if we get a plow truck. But right now, I think the main focus needs to be just making money. And spending money to make money, if we can avoid it, would be perfectly ideal at this point in time. And here we are, back at the farm. We're going to park the F-350 down by the brown barn. We're just going to call it a barn, okay? I know some people prefer shed. I prefer barn. Just sounds better, I guess. But yeah, guys, bit of a different episode today. Kind of a catch-up episode, if you will. It's kind of an off-season. We're not really doing a whole lot right now. In the next episode, it's probably going to be fall. We're probably going to be, or spring. Jesus, I keep saying fall. Probably going to be looking at getting some crop in the ground. Need to figure out what we want to do with this field over here. You know, honestly, if you think about it, so, okay, let's think about this just for a quick second. If we do hay, we need every bit of this equipment in here, including the swather, if you want to call it that, the rake, I guess. Well, that's a rake. Never mind. I'm done talking about that. But, so you got the rake, you got the old International, basically, it's kind of a rake. I mean, it's the cutter. Or what do you technically call one of these? You know, it's a 1590. I guess I'm not really sure. I guess I would call it a swather. It's not like a mower. It's closer like a small beanhead, if you will, I guess. I don't know. That might just be me being stupid. But anyways, so we've got the 435, which I think we're always going to need. So if we ever plan on doing wheat, that's probably going to be the move. We wouldn't need that for wheat unless we're just straight up going to cut it and bale it, which seems like an absolute waste. And then you've got the rake, which theoretically the wheat, it wouldn't be needed for the wheat because it'd be coming directly out of the combine, which is set up for it. So we've got a couple different options. I mean, we're not going to make anything really off these two pieces, right? Probably just make we'd be lucky to make $5,000. So maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we just keep it and just have that option. Even if we wanted to like mow grass or something like that, at least we've got the option to do so. I don't know. Something to think about, but I'm thinking I'm going to turn this field into something else. But yeah, so different kind of episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you want to see in future episodes. I think we're going to do different series for Farming Simulator. Of course, this series is probably going to continue. This is going to be kind of our slow moving series, but I also kind of want to do some other stuff. Got to do a little bit of brainstorming. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be seeing you.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.